Good afternoon, students. Today I would like to tell or let us discuss the topic of globalization. You might have heard of the term globalization even in your UG classes also. And now let us see what is globalization before we go into the depth of the topics what we have to see. First, let us see the definition of globalization. The term globalization is defined by the IMF as the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services and of international capital flows, and also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. So listen students, so here what is the definition of IMF regarding globalization says is globalization is the growing economic interdependence of countries. Now you know, as you are aware, no Indian country can be independent. See, one pandemic which came, the corona or COVID-19, which came in China, is not able to be avoided by any other country, isn't it? We all, the entire world is suffering from this COVID-19 pandemic. So, this itself is a assurance, or it is for sure that it is a proof that no country can live economically independent. So, every country has to be is interdependent of one another. And the economy is also growing, the interdependence is also growing worldwide. How does it grow? It grows through the increasing volume of cross-border transactions. So, now in recent days you know that cross-border transactions, that is transactions among various countries regarding goods and services and international capital flows and also spread of technology is being increasing the volume of the transactions, volume of the exports and imports, volume of the capital flows, foreign direct investments, indirect investments, as well as the spread of technology is being rising up in volume, and this is what is called as the globalization according to the definition given by the IMF. I have given you a diagram which shows the globalization, how there is an interchange of goods and services, technology, labor, even factors of production and flow of capital. All those things, they flow from one country to another and thus creating an interdependence among the countries, and that is what we say as the globalization. Then talking about globalization of business is nothing but an attitude of mind. It is a mindset which views the entire world as a single market, so that the corporate strategy is based on the dynamics of the global business environment. So what is globalization of a business? The attitude or the mind of the businessman or the person who is doing business should take the entire world as a single market. So when a businessman, when he does a business, taking into consideration the entire world as a single market, then that mindset comes, that attitude comes, that is globalization of business. Understand? Let us see what are the things that compass or encompass globalization of business. First thing is doing or planning to expand business globally. When a person plans to expand or has expanded his business globally, we call that is globalization of business. The next is giving up the distinction between the domestic market and foreign market. See, the businessman should not differentiate between domestic market and foreign market. As we saw in the definition, he has to see the entire global market as one unit, as one market. No difference between domestic market and foreign market. Everything is looked up as he must have a global outlook of the business. That is the second point to be in globalization of business. Third is locating the production and other physical facilities on a consideration of the global business dynamics irrespective of national consideration. See, for example, when a businessman he is in need of some facilities or some techniques, or he is going to buy a machinery, he is going to buy some particular item for his company or corporation. So, while doing that, or where to produce that particular product, while selecting the land space, etc., he should not have some national consideration. I will, as I am an Indian, I will be starting here in India. So, without that national consideration, if he considers the global thing as an entire thing and finds out where his production, which location will be suitable for his production, or which area or which country will be suitable for the physical facilities what he need, and do the business, then we say that there is a globalization of business. The next is basing product development and production planning on the global market consideration. So, while taking decisions regarding product development and planning of the product, the businessman, if he takes the global market considerations for the production of the product, for the designing of the product, or for the development of the product, or for the planning of the product, when he is considering or when he is taking into consideration the global market, when the product development and product planning are based on or taken or based upon the global market consideration, then we say that the particular business is being globalized. Not only that, global sourcing of factors of production. See, factors of production should be obtained from global sources, not from one particular country. That is, for example, raw materials, components, or machinery, or technology, or finance, etc. So, these are all the factors of production we know. These factors of production should be obtained from the best source anywhere in the world. He should not stick on to his own domestic country or to a particular country. So, whenever he wants to obtain raw material, or whenever he wants to purchase a machinery, or when he needs finance, he has to look into the global market and purchase or acquire from where the factors of production can be obtained at a lesser cost. So, comparatively at a lesser cost. So, he has to make the best source anywhere in the world. So, these are the things a global business should encompass. Next, we are going to discuss about the essential conditions to be satisfied on the part of the domestic economy, that is the nation, as well as the firm for successful globalization of business. Many a times globalization of business becomes a failure. So, the businessman who is to take steps to globalize his business, or he is going to expand his business globally, should consider these following conditions. When these following conditions are satisfied, then certainly globalization of business will be a success. Let us see what are the conditions to be fulfilled or satisfied to make the globalization of the business a success one. The first condition is business freedom. There should not be unnecessary government restrictions. See, the business has to be free to do whatever it does. There should not be any unnecessary government restrictions which come in the way of globalization. In the form of restrictions from government come in the form of like import restriction, restriction on foreign investments, etc. So, when a business is free of all these restrictions, then globalization will be a success. So, that is why we say economic liberalization is treated as or regarded as the first step towards facilitating globalization. So, before going for globalization, what is essential is the liberalization is very much essential. The second essential thing is the facilities available in the domestic country. The extent to which an enterprise can develop globally from home country base depends on the facilities available, like the infrastructure facilities. So, when a business tries to expand itself globally, one thing is the home country in which the business has a base should have all the necessary infrastructure facilities that can enable or make the business to go globally. For example, a good transport facility and a good banking facility are all very much essential for global business. The third is government support. Government should support the business. Without the support of the government, no business can go or become a global business. So government support in the form of policy and procedural reforms, development of common facilities like infrastructure, research and development support, financial market reforms, tax exemptions for EOUs, and so on, these trigger up globalization. So only when the government is supporting, taking steps or providing basic facilities or giving tax exemptions for export oriented units. So by all these things, government can trigger up globalization. So this is very essential, and that too in a developing country like ours, like India, government support is very much essential for globalization. Next we see resources. The resources include finance, technology, R&D capacities, managerial expertise, company and brand image, human resource, etc. available with the domestic business. So a business to become global should have the necessary finance facilities, technology available to compete in the global level. It should have its own R&D, it should have expertise. So it is not that easy to compete in the global market. Competition will be very stiff or high in the global market. So the business which is planning to go global should have all these basic resources so that it can make the business a global business. The next is competitiveness. Competitive advantage is a very important determinant of success in global business. A firm may derive competitive advantage from the factors such as low cost and price, product quality, product differentiation, technology superiority, after sales service, marketing strength, etc. As we discussed in the previous point, that international markets are highly competitive. So to participate in the international market and to be successful in the global business, the corporation, the domestic company should have a competitive advantage over the other countries, business in the other countries. How do a firm get its competitive advantage? How can it gain advantage? How can itself get advantage of the international market? It can do it by the factors such as low cost, comparatively low cost of production, reducing the cost of production compared to other countries. Not only that, reduction in price. When the selling price is reduced, automatically when the selling price comes down, the demand goes up. And so we should be ready to sell our products at a price comparatively lower than the other countries. Not only that, our product quality should be supreme than the others. Then product differentiation, we should have a brand image, we should have a popularity, we should have a goodwill, we should have a differentiation, a small point, so that we can claim a good advantage from compared to the other business. Then technological superiority. Not only that, after sales service, which is more important but not considered by the business people. So to become globally a competitive advantage is we have to do after sales service, marketing strength, etc. All these contribute to the competitiveness of the domestic company so that it become a global or international business. And the final one is the orientation. A global orientation on the part of the business firms and suitable globalization strategies are essential for globalization. See, it is a newer term to say, not so newer, but recent years. Globalization caught up only in the recent years when comparing with our country. So the business people are to be given an orientation regarding global business. how to deal in global business, what about the payment, how the payment is to be made, what about the linking of transactions, what about exchange transactions, what are the ways in which you can make the payment, what are the procedures for export and import. So all these training, we can say in simple language, I can say you, a training should be given to all the business firms so that they can adopt suitable globalization strategies and become successful in the globalization of business. Well, with this, I hope to conclude this lesson. Thank you very much, students. Thank you.